The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
As a coach for the last 20 years, the number one thing that I hear clients come up with as an excuse is, I just need more motivation. I just need to be motivated. Now think about this. Anything I need more of comes from a place of lack, not enough, and also known as scarcity. You see, needing anything means I don't have enough of it. And so creating from this place just means I create more lack, I create more need, and I create more of not enough. I create more of this thing called scarcity. It's been said that motivation is the reason one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. It's a desire or a willingness to begin doing something. That's the actual definition if you're going to look in a dictionary. But think about this. If I need more motivation to do something, then it simply means I need a reason to do something. I need a desire to do something. I need a willingness to do something. And wouldn't it be true that if I needed motivation, that I would actually need a reason, also known as a goal, a vision, something beyond my current reality? So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to make this a really practical talk about why we actually say we need motivation. 20 years I've spent working with people in the fitness industry, in all areas of life, from men to women, kids. And I find the ones that say they need more motivation are simply saying they're not clear on what their goals are or what their visions are in their future. They don't have a real reason why whatever they want matters. It's all surface level. And if I don't have a real reason why, then I just continue to play around with the top layer. You see, if we were clear on our goals and we had a vision for our life, decisions would be much simpler. Life would be much simpler. It would simply come down to a life of choices and a life of decisions. But when I'm not clear, I need motivation. When I'm not clear on my vision of where I'm going, then I will use motivation as an excuse. See, you don't need a desire to get to move. Do you really need something outside of you to make you move? Yet this is what the world tells us. I need something outside of me to get me to actually do this. I need desire to get me to move. You see, motivation may help you lose that first 10 to 15 pounds, but it's not going to help you keep it off. Motivation may make you a certain amount of money, but it's not going to make you keep it. Motivation may get you started temporarily, but it will not create this sustainable change. It will not get you to your vision. It will not even get you to your goals. Maybe the initial part of your goals, but not the end goals. So what is a simple lesson you can learn from this idea of meditation? Motivation. Shit, I can't even say it. Motivation simply comes from one place. It comes from a lack of vision. It comes from a lack of purpose. It comes from a lack of not knowing what you actually want. Just think about in life how many times you hear, I'm just not motivated. I just need more motivation to work out, to change the way I eat. I just I just need you to motivate me. I just need you to take the time to motivate me to meditate. I'm just not motivated to take my spouse on a date. I'm just not motivated to get out of bed. I'm just not motivated in my work anymore. All these things have to do with one simple thing. It's called a vision. Listen, if you stop creating a goal, if you stop creating a vision in your life, no wonder you need motivation. No wonder that story you hang on to, because it actually takes work to hang on to this vision of change, this vision of creating a new person of you. It doesn't take any work to be motivated. And when I talk about vision, I'm not talking about a vision board. I'm simply talking about, hey, do you know where you actually want to go in life? Do you know the direction you're headed in? Because if you don't know, you're going to live in the story of, I just need to be motivated. So every time you get off track, you're going to be waiting around for someone to motivate you or something to motivate you outside of you to get you back on track. And guess what? That's what you're going to look at and rely on all the time. If you're not clear on this idea of motivation, your life will be defined by one thing: always needing to be motivated. You will constantly be in need. And when you create a need, you need more need. All you're doing is creating more of that. So how do we actually drop this whole idea of motivation? So I'm going to get into this. So just sit back for a minute and let me explain how this will work. You see, once you're clear on what you want, once you have this clearly defined vision for your life, maybe it's just for the next year. Once you have an idea of where you're going and exactly what direction you're headed in. So think of this like a map. I call this, in the habit-based lifestyle program, your habit map. This is where we begin to create your future. Yet it's one thing to have a map. It's one thing to know the direction you're headed in. And no, you don't need motivation to do that. But if you know where you're going, you will only have to have one thing. And it's called a vehicle. A vehicle. A vehicle is what's going to get you there. And this vehicle is called habits. Yeah, that's right. The vehicle to change, the vehicle to my vision, the vehicle that is actually going to get me to where I want to go on the map is called habits. So just picture a nice car, whatever you want to envision that car being, and have it wrapped in this big word called habits. My habits are my vehicle for change. My habits are what crush my need for motivation. My habits lead me to where I want to go. My habits are the vehicle to get me to my vision. Stop using motivation as an excuse to not get started. Stop using motivation as a story to keep you stuck. Get clear on your vision. Get clear on what you want. Then create the vehicle of habits for lasting change. Create the vehicle that actually gets you to where you want to go, and your life becomes much simpler. Where in your life are you relying on motivation? Maybe it's inside of your fitness. Maybe the reason you won't go to the gym and get started is because you're not motivated enough to get up in the morning. Maybe it's inside of your nutrition. Maybe you're not motivated enough to start a nutrition plan. Maybe it's your stress levels. Maybe it's that you can't get out of work. You can't get out of bed in the morning. Maybe it's your business. You know, it's funny. People have an attitude that they don't like their business, and then they think their boss is actually against them. And yet you're putting out that energy. So of course, there's this weird feeling every time you go to work because in your mind, you hate your job. Maybe it's inside of relationships. You want motivation to be able to take your spouse, your husband, your wife on date night, or just to begin to communicate differently. But I want to give you a couple practical ways of how you can begin getting clear on your vision, getting rid of motivation, and getting into this vehicle for change called habits. You see, it all starts with this. And I don't expect you to answer this question in a couple minutes, but think about this. When is the last time you sat down with a pen and paper in a quiet place and began just journaling? What do I ultimately want in my life? Maybe it's for the next year, 5 years, 10 years. If you can't see that far ahead, maybe just start with the next 3 months or 6 months. What do I want inside of my fitness, my nutrition, in my spirituality, my life, my relationships, and in my business? Second question, does motivation really get me what I want in these areas? And you may answer yes or no. But if you answer yes, explain why you put yes. If you answered no, explain why you're putting no. Don't just play around with the surface. Like, get down deep. Question number 3 is this. What habits or what vehicle will get me closer to what I want? So once you've established what you want, which is question number 1, what habits would support me in getting there? What vehicle could I drive to get me there? Remember, you have a car wrapped with habits. So all these habits are going to be the vehicle that get us to change and get us to our vision of what we ultimately want. Thank you, everybody, for being on here today. I appreciate you being on here. I appreciate you listening. If you are looking to connect further with a group of like-minded people, join myself and so many others in my Habit-Based Lifestyle Secrets group, where I'll be dropping daily habits to help you begin living to your human potential. Maybe you want to be our next case study and begin living this habit-based lifestyle. Maybe you want to get involved in the Habit-Based Lifestyle 30-day boot camp. This is the introductory program where I begin teaching you habits, these vehicles for change. This is a great place for you to start. Maybe you have some questions, comments, requests, reviews. Feel free to contact me, Jesse, at habitbasedlifestyle.com. You can also check out my website, habitbasedlifestyle.com. Until next episode, have a great day.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse